Hello, everybody, and welcome to the GFI Racing League podcast. This is episode 12 of the podcast, and it's going to be a fun one because we're going to crown some champions in this episode. Our Xfinity, GT3, and ARCA driver and team champions will be talking to them and congratulating them on those accomplishments. But without further ado, we're going to start with the Cup Series and briefly go through that, and then get on into our champions. So the Cup race was pretty fun. It was 50 laps at Michigan International Speedway, 8 cautions, and 9 lead changes. Pretty fun race. For qualifying, we had Mitchell Sundstrom driving the number 8 for Ajax set pole with a time of 38.359, and then qualifying in second was Quint Hightower, the number 45, with a time of 38.410. Pretty close there between those times. Really interesting how tight that got in qualifying. But in our race results, Lucas Martin was able to come through and win this thing. He started P15. He drives the number 57, and he now drives for SCR. He was able to get up here, lead one lap, and get this thing done. I finished in second place. Nick Norris in the number 16 for Tag E Racing started P9. And then Michael Barksdale in the double zero, he finished P3. Good job from him. He led 2 laps, actually, so cool job there. And he started P21, so that's a big come up. For our team points, Ajax 1 Racing still in the lead, now with over 1,000 points, 1,013. Skewer Cat Racing sliding into that second position with 842 points, picking up some new drivers. And then Tag E Racing still sitting in third this week with 768 total points, looking to pick it up and try to jump up some positions. So let's see how this all continues to go. For our driver points, Kyle Purcell remains our leader with a total of 425 points. Mitchell Sundstrom is in second with 420 points. And then Lucas Martin is now in third, up 2 spots with 381 points. So that'll be interesting to see how that continues to go as well in the Cup Series. But without further ado, let's talk to some champions. All right, we're now with Kyle Purcell, driver the number 86 and leader of Skewer Cat Racing Team, winner of the Xfinity and ARCA Championship. Congratulations on that. You got 2 Xfinity wins during the season, 127 laps led in Xfinity, 218 total passes, quite amazing there. 5 ARCA wins, 326 laps led in ARCA with a 45% win percentage. How does all that feel right there?
Feels pretty good, especially knowing that it could have been more. Let a few things get away from me. Got caught up in some other stuff in a couple races that could have been avoided potentially, but overall, surprising too because the ARCA car I expected to struggle in, but
Oh,
it was not the case.
so that kind of does lead me into my first question here. Before the season did start, how did you think it would all go if you had to place yourself on the leaderboard on week 1 without really getting into the racing and knowing everything? Where would you have put yourself?
I think Xfinity probably 2 or 3.
Okay.
'Cause I think my brother's typically better in the Xfinity car, but he's been having more trouble than me, especially recently in avoiding avoidable incidents or putting himself in bad spots.
Hmm.
I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job of avoiding that for the most part. There was a couple races where that was not the case. And then ARCA, I didn't really know what to expect. I was expecting to be more like fourth or fifth because I've never really been great with tight setups, and all I'd been hearing about the ARCA car was tight, 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 and it felt pretty tight. But once I got confident with it, I was able to sort of make it rip.
No kidding. I mean, you won the first race, the second race. Not sure if you got the third one. I think there was a skip in there somewhere.
No. The third one is the one I should have had that I crashed instead.
I see. Well, you did amazing throughout the ARCA season, and you're in a strong contention for the Cup Championship. How are you preparing to win that championship?
I need to stop getting into trouble. Like I just mentioned, I've been doing a pretty good job avoiding that. Well, in the Cup Series, it's been rough recently. I've been getting a lot of incidents, a lot of damage that I've had to come back from. A lot of it not my own doing, but just the best way to avoid other people's incidents is to be in front of them. So I need to work on doing that better in the Cup Series.
Which week of the playoff cutoff weeks are you actually most worried about possibly not making it to the next round?
I don't know. Isn't there? I think one of the times has like Martinsville and a super speedway in the same one. That one would probably be the biggest concern because Martinsville, you're at the mercy of everyone else, and super speedways is you can get wrecked out for nothing at any time. So a lot of luck could go into that round, but otherwise I feel kind of okay.
So that is in the round of 8, taking us down to our playoff 4.
Hmm.
We're going to go Las Vegas, Talladega, Martinsville, finish at Phoenix. That's going to be
Yeah,
interesting.
that'll be a tough stretch. I feel good about Phoenix, but Phoenix 1, I didn't really get much practice or get to learn how everyone else drives around me because that was one where some people from a team that has all been kicked or left wrecked me out of P2 on like lap 5, and I never got back on the lead lap. So
Well,
it would be nice to redeem myself for that one.
what you're worried about seems to make sense. It sounds like it's really just making that final 4 the most important thing, correct?
Hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And with 2 very strong seasons and both cars changing in the next seasons, how does that fare for you? How do you feel about that?
I mean, a little unfortunate, I guess, if you look at it just heads up, Oh, well, the 2 series that I was the best in or had the best season in are gone now. But trucks I feel pretty all right in. They're probably closest comparison would be the Arca car. Uh, and then the Gen 4s, who knows? Anyone, I was just talking to Austin Sheff. He sounds super confident in those. I don't really have much time in cars like them. So I could be really bad in them. I don't know. I just have to get out there and try. And
Can't
then
wait to
same with
see.
road. Same with road. No experience in the GTP, and I'm going to be trying to run that for the next season too.
All right. And you're going to be free of worry from me on Fridays. Won't be joining you. And
Good.
maybe. And if you had to predict truck wins, what's the number? We will
I'll
look at
try for at
this.
least one, but two, two or three, I
2
think.
or 3. The modest. That's modest. That's a good number. And we will check in on this later. Well, can't wait to watch you and your team and all the performance next season. Looking forward to it. Best of luck and congratulations on these 2 championships. Thank you for your time.
I appreciate it. Thanks again.
See you next season. All right, we're now joined by Travis Griffin, driver of the number 84 for Tag E Racing. He is the owner of Tag E Racing, and that's the team that got an Xfinity championship and an ARCA championship. I'm also a part of that team. And what do you have to say about the season, Travis? I mean, there were some challenges in there that I definitely know about. How do you think we were able to get this done?
I think the season went pretty well. Both series. I think we really done well with consistency throughout the both seasons. Had a lot of drivers, had all the drivers, had pretty good runs for us.
What would you say was the biggest challenge in all those 12 weeks between Xfinity and ARCA?
Um, I would say just keeping ourselves clean and going out there and making a goal of trying to get a top 10 every week.
And when you put this team together for the beginning of these seasons, was this an expectation that you had set? Is this something you could envision, or did it come as more of a surprise?
So this is the first year with Taggy Racing, so it's a little bit of a surprise. This is one of my goals that I wanted. I wanted a team championship. I want a driver championship for somebody in the team,
We weren't
and
able to get that
then
one done,
I want
sadly.
everyone on the team to have a winner. Yeah, but we'll be there.
And which driver do you think contends the best to get that to have that chance at getting a driver championship?
So I actually have a guy in the Xfinity. He only runs with us one night. Michael. He is a guy that's been very close a lot of weeks, and he's very hard on himself when he has a rough week. But I definitely think his time's coming.
I would say the same. He set quite a few poles this season in Xfinity. Well, I guess he set a couple poles. He set 2 poles. That's pretty good. His average start over the 12 weeks was 5.4, and his average finish was 9.2. So there were some bad weeks in there where he ran into trouble, but I think he could definitely contend next season. And
Yes, definitely think he'll be good.
which season are you more looking forward to? Trucks, Gen 4? Do you know if anything's going on road for the team?
Now I haven't heard anything on road. I think Gen 4 is going to be kind of as we can make it. I know a lot of guys was getting burned out by running like 3 series because we also run the Cup Series. So I definitely think trucks. I see all 6 drivers being very fast and very good on a weekly basis.
So it sounds like the aim for the team is a truck championship.
100%.
All right. I wonder if we will be able to accomplish that. Maybe a driver championship along with that, or maybe we get one or the other again. But it'd be great to see.
Indeed.
What do you think will be the biggest challenges of the next season?
With the trucks, I think looks like they've changed a lot. Looks like they had a digital dash. A lot of the tracks got updated. Looks like the Cup cars got a lot of new tire model. I believe someone said the air impacts it different. So I think a lot of these cars are going to handle different. And we're going to have some new guys coming into the league. So just kind of figuring out how they race and figuring out who we can trust and who we might not trust as much to be around.
Okay. And the points were really tight between both of the series. There was a portion of time where Ajax was in the lead for Xfinity for quite a couple weeks, and we were able to jump that position. What do you think did that? How do you think we were able to accomplish that jump of points and also being so close?
I'm going to jump with what I said earlier. I think just the consistency. I think Ajax got caught up in a couple wrecks where a couple of our drivers was able to make it through. And, was able to benefit and get the points.
Heck yeah, and I'm real proud of it. Sometimes hard to stay consistent. A lot of stuff out there that you can't control. And sometimes those things out of control can be hard to maneuver around and deal with and can get you put in a sticky situation. Who do you think on the team most improved over the 12 weeks?
I'm going to go with Brian on this one. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe he led most of the ARCA points. And I know he had a couple of hard weeks there in the Cup Series, but the last couple of weeks he's really done good in the Cup Series. And hopefully looking forward to seeing him get better.
He did do pretty good things in the ARCA season. His average start was 13.6, but his average finish was 8.8. So every race, pretty much, he was able to pass cars and better his position. And I know he's always working to try and improve, as we all are. So can't wait to see what happens over the next 12 weeks. Well, I don't think I have many questions left for you, Travis. Is there anything that you'd like to say before we get you out of here?
Just real quick, I'm just going to give a shout out to all the guys on the team. We'll start with you, Nick Norris, and Brian Troy, Preston O'Brien, myself, Travis, Michael, I do not know his last name. Nelson, and William Ashworth. Good job, guys, and look forward to the next season.
Thank you very much. I'm sure we're all proud that we could accomplish this together and for you as a team. So hopefully we can accomplish more things together. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much for your time, Travis. Best of luck for the next season. Hope I can make you proud.
See ya.
All right, we're now joined by the whole Ascend team for the GT3 series. They are the team champions for the series. Congratulations, y'all. How do y'all feel about that?
I was an essential component to the team win there.
Definitely. No, it was a lot of fun. There's a lot of good competition behind Tyler and the Kyles, and I think it was really fun to have to kind of fight out the second couple places in the Drivers' Championship and just make sure that we actually finished out the season and held on to the team championship as well.
For sure. And Tyler drives in 34. Cody, you're in the 94. Jesse, you're in the 99. Y'all got a total of 6 wins as a team throughout this season. Do you think you could have got more? How do you think you could have achieved more wins? What was the challenge and struggle there?
There's a couple for me. Week 1, I could have taken a proper amount of fuel for my race. Minor things, and then Kyle stepping in at the end of the season, taking some wins from us.
So was the biggest challenge throughout the season having some newer people to race with?
It didn't help that they were too fast. I was trying to keep up with them, but
yeah, there was a few tracks that I didn't have a ton of experience at. Like I've never driven Road America, I've never driven Watkins Glen, never really done much at the Indy Road Course. So I knew I was going to struggle a little bit at those, but after I had a really rough first 2 races. I crashed out of both of them, and then third race I kind of struggled a little bit to keep the car under me, and I think I just at that point got the feel for things and just kind of started to get a little bit more consistent results, and that really helped to just build up points. I don't think I was really close to any wins pretty much other than Lime Rock, but just like I said, just keeping up with it and not trying to go too hard and crash out and then lose us some points.
Did y'all know that you would be a very strong championship contending team from the beginning, or was that just a hope?
I think for Some of us, at least, I personally had a pretty good feeling. At least I know Tyler's skill level, so I wasn't exactly out there fighting for wins, but I knew that Tyler was there, and if I just picked up the points whenever anyone dropped any, or just stayed consistent, we could do it. But it worked out in the end.
Yeah, I think I definitely came into this knowing we were going to be a strong contender, just kind of depending on who was going to show up or not, knowing Tyler's pace for sure, and then Jesse and I aren't exactly super slow, but
Hmm.
obviously we're not among those top couple drivers, but we can hold our own. We know how to wheel the car around and have some good racecraft and put people in positions to take over and maybe not make a huge mistake, but let us by and just have some fun racing. Really,
That's a very important place to be on the team, though. I mean, even if you're not the P1 fastest driver on the team, if that guy has a bad day, you've got to be back there to pick up the pace and try and pick up maybe not what they could achieve, but something close to, if you can.
definitely, and
I
that's.
like.
Go ahead, Jesse.
I was gonna say I like to view myself as a marker of consistency in that regard. Because yeah, I mean, I might not be fighting for race wins, but if I'm not putting in the gravel, spinning out, I'm gonna be somewhere. So that'll, every once in a while count for some points. I think I counted for 2 or 3 results in our standings for the end of the season. So yeah, like you said, just had to be there in case Tyler wrecked, Cody wrecked, whatever happened, someone couldn't make it. So that was a
Yeah,
big thing for us, because obviously we had
Hmm.
consistency and we had at least 2 drivers, every race.
Consistency is very important. And I think I just got one more question for y'all before I kind of give you the floor for a minute. How do y'all feel about next season and contending for the championship then?
Excited on the new classes and scared of Michael's pace because it's pretty quick today.
yeah. I think the GT3 class should be pretty competitive throughout. Now that we've got some of the faster drivers in another class, I think there will be a lot of good racing throughout. But you know, with the experience of season one under our belts, I think we'll still have a good chance of fighting for some good points in both classes.
Oh, I was gonna say the multi-class is definitely gonna be interesting this season. I think it's gonna be an interesting dynamic. So
Hmm.
yeah, very excited.
I think it's definitely going to add more fun to the races and more to keep up with. So that'll be really cool to see. If they were broadcasted, that'd be awesome because that would be a really cool look to see these faster cars passing these slower cars and just more racing. So that'd be fun to see. So, is there anything else that y'all wanted to say about your season and this championship?
Well, but gotta go for the double team championship this year.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
we
Jesse.
took the drivers and the constructors, so you can't really be too upset about that.
You did. Do y'all think you're a team that's going to pick up more members or you're going to stay where you're at?
We're supposed to
We're
have one or two
yeah.
more coming.
Okay.
We're actively recruiting a couple non-GFI drivers to join the league, but yeah, so we'll see kind of how that goes.
All
Yeah, I
right.
want to thanks to Cliff and Keith for setting this up and kind of staying patient with us. I know there were some times where it got a
course.
little hectic, and we still had a lot of fun though. So I'm excited that we got to season 2, and we'll see kind of how things go.
We will. I'm wishing you the best of luck. Can't wait to see how it all goes. Congratulations, y'all, on the championship. Wonderful job staying consistent throughout 12 weeks and being the best team on top.
Hey, sir.
Thank you kindly.
Thank y'all so
Thanks,
much
Nick.
for your time. Y'all take care. See you next season.
Adios.
You too.
All right, we're now with Tyler Carson, driver the number 34 and winner of the GT3 Series Championship. Congratulations on this one. This was really cool to watch you throughout the season, getting a bunch of wins early. It was a little tough for you later in the season to get those wins, but you did get 5 of them throughout the season, so congratulations there. Just, I guess, start off by talking about the championship. How do you feel about it?
Oh, pretty good. It was not as competitive as it could have been had the Kyle's been in there at the beginning of the season, but
Mm-hmm.
I'll take a championship. Nothing to complain about.
So you think if they were there from the beginning, it's either a tighter battle, or you think maybe you don't end up with it at all?
It's tighter. I mean, judging by the results of the end of the season, it doesn't look good for me, but you never know. Things could have happened. But I know I was usually competing with Michael and Kyle for second place towards the end.
So which
For
win?
Cell, I guess I should add.
Yeah. Which win throughout the season actually meant the most to you?
Probably the first one. because my first race, it was week 2, I believe. My first race went poorly, as we talked about before.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Please go back and watch for
screwed
reference, people.
myself over. Yeah, screwed myself over. Didn't give myself enough fuel to finish the race, and had to pit on the last lap, dropping myself down to 5th. So not a good way to start out the season, but second week coming back and winning, I think it was something crazy like a 35-second lead. So definitely happy about that one. It was a good tone setter for the rest of the season.
So is that kind of what's more rewarding to you in the end for these road races, is how big the gap is that you're able to build toward the end? Is that a good feeling?
I mean, it's a good feeling. I don't exactly want a race to turn out like that.
Okay.
If you're racing alone, it does get kind of boring up there. So
But
competition is good.
would you trade off a boring race for being the fastest out there on the field and getting the win in the end?
I don't know, because it's kind of like a hollow victory type of thing. If you're not racing with anybody, you're not really working for it.
Have you enjoyed the work in the later part of the season?
Oh yeah, because I've had a few good fights with Kyle and Michael trying to take the lead, and even that first race that Hayne was in with us, I was down probably 12 seconds, I think, on him when we were doing the Okayama race with the rain. Down 12 seconds, I was cutting down his time until I sent it off track and lost all the work I made up. But chipping away at leads, trying to stay consistent, fight people, it's always a lot more fun to me than just driving alone at the front.
Okay. Well, at least you're having fun then now. And how do you feel going into next season and contending for this championship possibly again? What challenges might be, or do you think you've got a strong contention at going back to back here?
Michael's pace was fast in the GTP. I don't know if he's going to end up doing that full season or not, but I think I can fight him. His quality pace was about 1.5 seconds faster than me, so it's not great. But race pace, I did have the fastest lap, so I think I got a good shot. But just got to see how the year actually turns out. The season actually turns out.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to see how it all plays out and to possibly talk to you next season. So congratulations on getting this driver championship for this season. That's a big one. Is there anything else that you'd like to say before we end this call?
I'm just looking forward to more good racing next season. Hopefully it goes well. Hopefully the series survives.
I hope it will too. I think that bringing in the GT3 and GTP together is going to make the racing more interesting, and that's going to bring more to look for and watch, and I'm going to be entertained. So I hope everybody out there is too.
It'll make it a lot more fun. See a lot more people on the track, not just stale driving alone.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Congratulations. Until next season, this was Tyler Carson, driver number 34, our GT3 champion. See you next time.
Have a good one.
So quite fun to hear from all our champions right there. I definitely enjoyed it, so I hope y'all did as well. And they definitely had some great things to say about how they thought they got themselves to those places. So congratulations to our champions. Can't wait to see who the next 3 are, or actually no, 4 or 5. We're going to have SKs, GTPs, GT3s, trucks, and the Gen 4. So looking forward to all of that. This is going to be a great season. Can't wait to see who we get to interview and who may win some races. Hopefully we get some first-time winners and get to talk to some new people. Hope that y'all enjoyed this episode. Take care. Have a great day.